Corporate identity, image and reputation. Do you want to understand them better? Do you want to know what are those? Where in this case you are at the right video. Before starting, like the video and subscribe to the channel because we are going down to explaining these roots. So the key to having a corporate communication strategy is the following. You have to have the corporate identity. This is the profile and values communicated by an organization. So it is the basic profile that an organization wants to project to all its important stakeholder groups and how it aims to be known by these various groups in terms of corporate image and reputation. It is important to remember the fact that a company wants their stakeholders, they want to remember it favorably. They want to ensure that a company and their stakeholders have a broadly consistent manner of seeing the company in a good way. Why? Because the stakeholders influence the company and the company influences the stakeholder at its turn. So you want them to be loyal, you want them to be engaged with your company, and you do that through stakeholders having an image in their perception that is favorable to the company and that is in line with their identity. So you want, as a company, you want your stakeholders to see you the way you want to be seen. In order to do that, companies go a very broad and large way in their communication. So starting with brochures, starting with their communication campaigns, their website, the tones they use, the colors in the website, the colors in their advertising, everything about that, their logos, everything that they do, everything that they communicate through has to be in line with the same mission, vision of the company in order to create the same identity. As a company, you want to transmit the same message through everything you do. To give you an example, let's look at the corporate identity of the British Airways company. The corporate identity of British Airways is the world's favorite airline. They want their identity to be associated with brand values and services. They want quality innovation, and they do that through their positioning, design and communication. Further on, the corporate image is the immediate set of associations of an individual in response to one or more signals or messages from or about a particular organization at a single point in time. So the corporate image is, if you go down the street and you ask a person, hey, what do you think about this company? Pepsi, Wizz Air, whatever, Cola, Fanta, Sprite. If you think about this company, what comes through your mind? What are the first thoughts that comes through your mind? And they might say whatever answers, that's the image of the company. So the image is what you associate the company with. What are your thoughts about the company at an immediate response? For example, let's look at the image of British Airways, and in order to do that, we look at what a customer of British Airways said. So he said that very recently I got a ticket booked to London, and when reporting at the airport, I was shown the door by British Airways staff. I was flatly told that the said flight in which I was to travel was already full, so the ticket was not valid and the airline would try to arrange for a seat on some other flight. You can just imagine how embarrassed I felt and at that moment of time. To make matter worse, the concerned official of British Airways had not even a single word of apology to say. This is what a customer of British Airlines said. So you see, as a company, British Airways want to have a specific image, and definitely this is not it. But because they communicate it in different ways, so in this case, the staff, what they did, they didn't apologize. They had to cancel a flight. They had to cancel a ticket of a passenger for a flight because probably they overbooked. In this case, they had a negative image, which is obviously counterintuitive to what they want to be the world's best airways company. So your image is what the customers say about you. When they think about British Airlines, this customer said, well, it was not a pleasant experience. This is the image they have for that customer. So only for that customer. And finally, the corporate reputation is the individual's collective representation of past images of an organization induced through either communication or past experiences established over time. So the difference between the corporate image and the corporate reputation is that the image is the immediate associations a customer or a person makes when they think about your company, while the corporate reputation is their overall opinion about the company. So it's not the quick thought, it's what they consider if they think about it at a longer time. So they gather all their thoughts, all their experiences, everything they know about the company, and then they have the reputation in mind. They have an image, so to say, about your company. So let's look at an example for British Airways. Through the Executive Club program, British Airways has developed a reputation as an innovator in developing direct relationships with its customers and in tailoring its services to enhance these relationships. This is what a long-standing supplier of British Airways said. So in this case, somebody that was close to the company, they worked with them for a long time, has a positive reputation in mind about the company because they've seen them acting in different scenarios and had different experience with them over a longer period of time, and they can say the reputation of the company is something good. So the reputation of the company is something you create as a company, but you made that through your communication, through your messages. So you need a lot of positive images from the customers and from the stakeholders about your company, so you can build a strong and favorable reputation over a longer period of time. So let's have a quick recap. If we look at the corporate identity is what the company shares with the stakeholders. So their values, their concepts, their mission, vision, whatever, that is the identity that the corporate sets for itself. If we go on with the image, it is a representation, let's say, of how good the company made their identity. So if you communicated the values good through all the messaging channels, so how your staff behaves, how you communicate with your customers, how you serve your customers, how good is your product, because this is also a way of communicating with the end user. If you did all that good, most of the stakeholders should have a positive image about you. And if you have a collective of positive images from more individuals, then you have a good reputation. But the distinctive is that the reputation you build over a longer period of time. So the image, you only have an image at a specific moment. If the company has an ad, you ask somebody on the street, hey, what do you think about the company? They remember that ad and they say, oh, my opinion is that. But if you ask somebody, hey, what do you think about the company overall? They will think about your reputation. This is the difference. I hope this video helped you. If it did, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below in the comment section. It helps me with the algorithm, you know how YouTube is these days. And also, if you haven't watched it yet, I did make a video about the corporate mission, vision, objectives and strategies. So these are also parts of the corporate communication, the field we're talking about. If you haven't watched it, watch it. It's the link in the description. And I also have an at-length video where we go through all the history of corporate communications, including these concepts, maybe better explained. Watch that, the link is in the description. If you want to support me and support my channel, you can buy me a coffee. There is a link in the description for that. Check out the other videos on my channel. I will see you at the next one. Bye.